I'm working on a board game party game called Party Champ, where the players can throw their dice to activate dynamic map events and even damage other players. This month, I wanted to finish off the player lobby and cosmetic systems. Okay, this main menu lobby system is pretty involved. First, we need to figure out what it should look like. The design and layout, navigation. We're going to need to do the art, 3D modeling, animation, small props, main set pieces. We need transitions, camera movement, loading screens. The player cosmetic system is getting an overhaul. We need new player models, new textures, animations, more cosmetics. The UI is also getting an overhaul. We're going to put that one at the top of the list because it's the least interesting and it's already done. Starting with the player lobby, we need to figure out what style it should be. For me, it's between the Fortnite podiums or the lobby area in Among Us. One of these has an always online lobby for when you boot up the game, but it's static and you can't really do anything except purchase V-Bucks or whatever. The other is a lobby you can run around in, but there's limited menu access and you manually create it when you set up the game. It usually means you end up having to leave the lobby at some point just to create a new lobby when you want to do something different. The third option is combining both previous options together for one super option.
Playable lobby menu hybrid.
Basically having a playable area in the menu where your friends go when they join you, and you can access menu stuff from inside the lobby, which I'm referring to as the lounge. This will hopefully keep players entertained while the host sets up the game. It will have a computer to start and set up the match, and a corner for player customization. Next, it's onto the art. I was scratching my head thinking what this area should look like, and ultimately decided to just do a spaceship like the one in Among Us. So I got to work making the main ship model in Blender, just putting down the basic shapes first to get an idea of the... Wait, hold on, is that...
Buzz Lightyear!
Next, I got some camera panning happening in Unity for smooth transitions between menus. And then it was time to start filling out the lounge with detail and textures. Okay, it's actually starting to feel kinda cozy. I added a bowl to kick around just to test it out. Got a nice boombox radio playing some tunes while you wait. But here's where I made a big change. Up until this point, I was listening to
Lo-fi hip-hop radio beats to relax /study do.
And then I swithed over and started listening to
Synthwave radio beats to chill /game do.
And the vaporwave aesthetic seeped into the creative process.
You what?
Battery here.
Smooth transition.
We got camera panning to the player customization corner. We got camera panning outside the ship when you go to the options menu. In hindsight, this one felt really unnecessary, but it's still so cool. I made this whole outside area for the ship just for this one menu. It would have been so much easier to just do the interior. Quick tangent, I also implemented most of the settings. The control binds aren't done yet, but general audio and video settings are complete. I'm still going to be adding to this in the future. Although this is like a 10-second segment, it took like 2 weeks to implement. This video is actually covering like 3 months of work. So if you like the game or these videos, like and subscribe, it really does help with the process. When the host player sets up the game at the computer, the camera pans over and they do a little typing animation. You can also press a button to enter the lounge at any time. Here you can run around with your friends and flex your outfits and emotes. Wait, let's not get ahead of ourselves, we haven't even talked about the
Player model update.
In 3D game development, 3D models are comprised of triangles, or tries for short. The more tries in a model, the more computationally expensive it is to render that model on the screen.
Can you see where this is going?
For context, an in-game model for a playable character in Overwatch is approximately 60,000 triangles. As it stands, the base champ player model is a meaty 45,000 triangles, which, considering its level of detail, isn't very optimized.
But it gets worse.
The outline effect I use on the player model and everything else in the game creates a duplicate mesh with inverted normals, which, in short, doubles the triangle count of everything. So 45,000 becomes 90,000. But it gets worse. It's not just the base player model that gets rendered on the screen, it's the player model and all the cosmetics equipped too, which thankfully most of these are relatively low triangle count, but some of them are directly based off of the original player model. Things like the gloves and shirts and pants are basically duplicated body part models derived from the original player model. So applying all of the worst performant cosmetics gives us a whopping 210,000 triangles for one character on the screen. So now imagine a full lobby of 8 players and you got yourself a problem. I've been aware of this issue for a while now, and I knew I'd have to do something about it eventually. It was time to
Retopologize.
making a new player model, but this time it's a lower triangle count. It ended up coming in at about 5,000 triangles, which is a significant improvement over the original, and it looks virtually the same at a distance, maybe even a little bit better. The new player model meant I had to redo some of the previous cosmetics, like the shirt and pants and gloves. I also cleaned up some of the animations. Next, it was time to make some new cosmetics, and I actually put up some posts to ask you guys for some ideas. We've got Astronaut, Panda, Halo, Devil Horns, Banana, Mushroom Hats, Toadstool, Mystic, Portobello, Chicken Comb, 3D Glasses, Clown Nose, Gas Mask Afro, Mustache, Apple, Drippy Jacket, Traffic Cone, Sunglasses, Colored Lenses, Lippy Lips, Cheeky Smile, Zombie Eyes, Tiny Peepers, and many, many more. And the best part is you can mix and match each costume piece to create your unique style. Or if you're feeling lucky, use the randomize option. Some costume pieces even have a color option, so you can manually set the color to whatever you want. You can also save your outfit or reset your outfit. I can't wait to see what designs people come up with. Oh, and I'll still be adding to these cosmetics during the rest of the development of the game. So if you have any ideas, leave them in the comments. I might do a thing where I pick one person's suggestions each video, whether it's for an outfit or just a few random costume pieces that don't necessarily fit together. The player customization screen is also where you'll pick your player color, which is individual for each player in the lobby. It's vital for playing on the board and in minigames. It also colors your UI elements. The last tab in the customization menu is where you'll pick your emotes. You can pick one emote which you can use on the board and in minigames. This gives you something to do on the board when it's not your turn, and you can use it to annoy your friends. The other emote slot is for your victory taunt, which plays when you come first in a minigame, which we'll talk more on in a later devlog. Now you're probably wondering, how can I get cosmetics? I'm not going the premium paid currency shop route like most modern day games. It's not that type of game. I don't have servers I need to pay for to keep the game running, seeing as how players create their own server when they're hosting a lobby. In the game Pummel Party, which is one of the main inspirations for Party Champ, you collect goblets on the board, and that's the win condition. You can then spend those goblets outside of the game to buy cosmetics. So I'll probably end up doing a similar system where the diamonds you collect on the board can be spent in a shop outside of the game. You will be able to earn cosmetics at a good rate anyway, and there won't be a premium currency to buy cosmetics faster. The other idea I had, which is not well researched, was making the cosmetics a part of your Steam inventory, meaning you could actually trade them between players on the Steam marketplace. I'm not too well read up on the subject, but it does sound very interesting, although I'm not sure how I'd distribute the cosmetics in the first place. The demo won't have any shop feature, it will just have a small selection of cosmetics. That just about does it for this video. Subscribe for more, and I'll see you next time.